All right, all right. Now we're on the move. Now we're on the move.
What's up, baby?
Um, Hello everyone.
Hello,
Woo!
hello.
So today we're gonna jump right into it because we have a very special guest today. Um, let's see, let me get my banners. She is running for, forgive me because I'm new at this today.
It's all good.
The Prince for she is Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy, but she is also running for the county exec. So we're gonna get right into it, Aisha. We thank you for your time because we know you that you are busy, and we know this is a special election. So we want to get into some questions really quick, and of course, just thank you for sharing your time with us. So, Tyreese, I'm going to hand it over to Tyreese, and
All
then we're going
right.
to start this virtual college.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you. Even in your role as state's attorney, you've been very instrumental in supporting gun violence, which is something personal to me. But could you share with our listening audience, especially for those residents of Prince George's County and people who work in the county, some of your platform issues? What are you running on for county executive?
Well, let me tell you, first of all, thank you. Can I first thank you, Ms. McAllister, for coming to my office, providing training and support for my ASAs and support staff. You provided a very critical um, uh, really counseling session for us because in our jobs it is stressful, listening to other people going through the worst moments of their lives, trying to get justice for families, taking care of victims and next of kin. We deal with a lot mentally, and for you all to come in and give us tools and guidance in order to ensure that we're good, we're strong, that we can continue to do the work we're doing, but have that balance where we're recognizing when we need a break or when we need to do certain things to restore ourselves. So I wanted to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Um, of course. But yeah, look, as state's attorney, I see where things have gone wrong in our community. But let me tell you where we're getting it right. We are absolutely tough when it comes to crime because it is very important that we have safe communities. So what we have seen now is about a 30% reduction in crime overall, including a 62% reduction in carjackings. That's significant because there was a time when every other day you would hear about a carjacking. Now you barely hear about it because we've really worked hard to reduce violence in our community. But one crime is too many. So what we have done is we have prosecuted gun cases. We have held people accountable. We have also instituted some programs for those non-violent felony offenders, but who possess guns, because we want to make sure that they have consequences, but then they have an opportunity for restoration as well. And we have seen that program, it's called the Back on Track program, grow. And those individuals are not reoffending. Many of them are in school, they are at work, they are productive members of our society. And through that program, they do get counseling because what we're learning is that even people who, let's say, possess guns, even if they don't intend to use it, but it is a crime if you are not licensed to possess a weapon, a lot of times they need support, they need help, they're stressed out. And so we provide opportunities for them to get that counseling, get that mentorship, that leadership, and then help them make better choices. And guess what? They are making better choices because those folks, they have not returned back to the justice system. So they've gone through our program and they're good now. And we want more people to be in that space. But we do need to recognize when people are going through stress and when they do need help.
No, I really do appreciate that role because I think that, certainly as a citizen, I feel like we have to protect citizens
Mhm.
from people who are doing crimes. However, a lot of times the people who are doing crimes, unfortunately, in our county are the people who look like us. And I know as a therapist, oftentimes it's because of adverse childhood experiences, it's
Mm,
because maybe there's a parent that is not able to provide the care, or they haven't been able to get, so we things have fallen through the cracks for one reason or another. I can sit here and give you reason after reason all day, but that people won't just be thrown into the system and then left there, right? Like there is
Correct.
some way restorative to be restorative in the justice that we're providing, and that really is how we should operate as a community. And I'm very proud that Prince George's has really been a leader in restorative justice for our Black and brown people, because I think it's important. I think the United States has over incarcerated people who look like us. Um, but I do understand as a citizen too, if somebody offends me
Yeah.
or does something horrible to me or my family member or other people that I love, I do want them to be accountable and pay for what they've done. So thank you for having that balance. I think that's important.
The balance
Anything.
is important. And,
Yeah.
I've gone to our state prisons. We have a program within our state prisons called our Emerging Adult Program, where we work with younger offenders who are 18 through about 26. On the male side, on the female side, we haven't really had an age limit just because there are so few females in the system. But for those who are, we want to make sure that we contact. And so we have a virtual program where we have a 6 month kind of life skills training program where we work with people exactly where they are. They are in prison. We help them develop their life plan. We connect them with people who are mentors, who are in fields that they are interested in going into. And so when they come home, they are ready to like get to work, to get their IDs if they need them, to help them find housing if they can't go back home. We really dig in and really help folks through those challenging times of transitioning. And again, in those cases, those people aren't reoffending either, because someone cares. And we have men and women in the system coming back home. It can be traumatizing, even when you come home, to have to reintegrate back into a family unit. And sometimes that unit isn't as strong as it needs to be. So getting that counseling and support when you're coming home is important too. So we recognize that. And I'm grateful for the work that we're doing, because accountability is important, but restoration is important too.
Yeah, I thank you for that too, because that's another thing that is very near and dear to my heart. Even as a therapist, I don't know if you know, well, you probably don't know, but my dissertation is on returning citizens and
Ah,
how they reintegrate back into the community. And traditionally, um, people have not done well with reintegrating back to the community because, like you said, it is hard. But I think Prince George's County, again, along with Washington, D.C., really leads the way in how we treat returning citizens. Because I always tell clients that I work with that um, Prince George's County and DC are felon friendly, right? Like they are, even if you have a felony, that it won't prevent you from getting a job. If you want a job, you can get a job. And I think that's important.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I don't
Hey,
want to hog
Jamie.
up all the questions.
Can you see me? Marcy pushing buttons over there.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm new, relatively new at this. But what I would like to ask, with your platform, can you tell us a little bit about your platform as you're running for the county executive?
Absolutely. Well, I've got a lot of things on my platform, everything from making sure that we have an excellent educational system that reaches kids where they are and provides a variety of career opportunities to our kids at a much earlier age so that they're interested in school a little bit more. Some of them who need that extra encouragement, they can go into their career or technical skills training a little earlier. And I think that will help keep them focused on school and wanting to go to school. So providing a first class education, preparing our children for the workforce, also cleaning up our streets. I mean, I am sick of going around, this wonderful county, but looking at all the trash and debris on our roadways. It's just not reflective of the beauty of the people who live in this county. And I'm absolutely committed to cleaning up our county, making sure that we have adequate services like trash removal as
Two
well
days a week,
as snow
please. 2 days a
removal.
week. 2 days a week, please.
I would love to, but here's what I'm not going to do as a candidate: tell you something that I can't deliver yet, because we are facing almost a $200 million budget deficit, and we don't know how much that might grow based on all of the changes going on at the federal level. So what I will say is that what we are committed to doing as a county now, we will do with excellence. And I too would like to have my second day of trash pickup restored. But we're going to have to get there over time, because right now, again, we're facing this tremendous deficit, which may actually grow. So we have some work to do. Okay.
I appreciate
But
your honesty.
yeah, I mean, look, that's what you got to be in this game. You got to be honest with people. But when it comes to expanding healthcare, we have a hospital. Honestly, that's a little too small for our population and, many of the illnesses, unfortunately, that our residents face. So long term, we're going to have to grow that hospital. And a project that I'm absolutely committed to focusing on and building is a long term mental health treatment residential facility where people who cannot live within a family unit safely can go, where they can be close to enough to family to have those family bonds, but not be in a place where they could hurt their family members or hurt themselves. We have people who have severe mental illness. I have seen that play out, unfortunately, in criminal cases where we have had to charge and prosecute family members for killing other family members or hurting their family members. And these are blood relatives. I'm not simply talking about intimate partner domestic violence like husband and wife, girlfriend and boyfriend, or other partners. I'm talking about people who are blood relatives, parents and children, and other types of relatives. And we know that a lot of what's driving it is mental illness. And it's mental illness that people either diagnose or kind of know about. But because there's no place for people to go, they end up trying to make it work in their homes. And sometimes that's just not possible.
Um, Ms. Braveway, I want to thank you for that, because that, of course, I've been in mental health for 30 years and I've done mostly emergency mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the calls that you're talking about are calls that I have personally responded to, or my team has
Mm.
responded to, either in the county or in DC. And nobody really is looking at that. Like, we have to have an alternative. So there was a deinstitutionalization that began in the 60s, and we have not sought to do it again. We thought, because there was medication, with the with the introduction of psychotropic medication, we assumed that people can live normal lives, and for the most part they can. But where we were wrong is we assumed that people would get on and stay on their medication, and when they're not on their medication, they act out. And so there are times when people need to have an alternative place to stay, to keep themselves safe and to keep their family members safe. So thank you for that, because no politician on the local level, on the state level, on the federal level is really talking about a place where people can go to get the care that they need, but also to keep their family members safe. So yeah, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And
All
that's why
right.
she was a perfect guest for Thursday therapy, because we talk about all things that involves your mental health, and that's
Yeah.
definitely a huge, and that's a relief. Me, I live in DC, but to know that this is something that you're fighting for in Maryland, just a few minutes from me, it gives me a sense of security,
Yeah.
because of the simple fact, we all have those family members that we need to be
protected from.
yes,
No,
yes,
seriously.
yes.
It's true. I mean, it happens sometimes,
And our family members need help, right? Like,
They
and
need
and
help.
the thing is, what has broken my heart over the years is to not have a resource to give family members, right? Like me as a professional, knowing this is a very dangerous situation and I got
Hmm.
nothing.
And you
Like
got
they
nothing.
don't meet the criteria to be involuntarily hospitalized. So I have to leave the family member there with the dangerous person, and there is no place else. Right. And so again, thank you for that, because I don't think and I think you being a state's attorney gives you a very unique position
Oh,
because you
yeah.
see it differently than maybe somebody who hasn't seen or know the faces. I think that's the other thing. And that's the difference between a person who's a politician who's running for office, because there's some nice benefits running for office. Let's just be honest, right? You get in places, you get to do things that are fun, you get the photo ops, and all of those are good. But at the end of the day, what I vote for is a person who's going to work on my behalf, who's going to work on the things that are of concern to me. And really that and really work, right? Like really do the work, or really have an understanding of the issues that are a concern to me. And while I don't live in a home with anybody with mental illness and have to be protected, working in the field for 30 years, I know that it's needed. I know that I need 2 days of trash removal. I, you know,
Me too.
right, right,
Look,
right.
look,
And I
I
can
was just
appreciate,
I was
I can
just at the
appreciate.
convenience center this morning dumping dumping trash.
No, listen, I appreciate that you're a real person and can identify with needing 2 days to trash. I mean, to some people it's petty, but you know, that second day, and it might be a little bit less, because when they first instituted that in the county, I had a household of 5. Now it's just my husband and I. And I think I don't even need the 2 days now. I think it's just something I've been harping on for the last few years, because when my house was full, I needed those 2 days of
Yeah.
trash removal.
And we
And
have a
my
lot of
issue,
families. We have a lot of families.
right. And my
So
issue is with us being so close to DC, and DC does have a very wicked rat problem. Let's just be honest. And we share the same sewers and pipes and stuff. I just don't want that for my county, because I'm going to have to move. I'm just saying.
okay. All right, can we get on another subject?
Well, the one thing about our show,
Jamie,
too, is like
I
we have
agree.
fun,
I
too.
agree with you. We're gonna do all that we can though. Trust me.
And we appreciate that. We appreciate that. Well,
Yeah, I
is
have a
there any?
question. I have a
Okay, go
question.
ahead.
But on the trash note, I missed last Friday, so y'all know I was pissed. So
Yeah,
I
Oh,
had
yeah.
2 weeks of trash sitting in there, but
uh-oh.
we gonna get it right tomorrow. But so election coming up, and again, thank you for your time. I know your schedule is crazy, because I was just
Not
with
a
you
problem.
Tuesday, coming back from Miami, and a couple of people I know did miss it, and they know we support you and endorse you, so they had a couple questions for me that they would have asked had they made it.
Okay.
Um, and so just getting your insight on, it was the retail in PG County with the retail shopping and restaurants
Mhm.
and grocery stores. Can you give insight to people listening on your vision on how PG County can compete with DC and Virginia local stores and shopping, things of that nature?
It's interesting because even if you live other places in Maryland, most people unfortunately now go to DC and Tyson's to shop, because not just because of the lack of quality stores, but even those stores, let's say the department stores that we do have, they don't have the products that we want to buy, the designers, the brands that we would want to wear. And so it is very difficult, I think, to shop here, and it should not be, because we have a lot of high income earners, and we have a lot of people who actually do buy. We have a lot of purchasing power here. And so I think part of it is that we have to just demand and call folks out when they don't put the products in our stores that we deserve. We also have to, I think, build more regional commercial areas and centers. And so building out our metro stations, I think, really provides us a real opportunity to demand those high-end retailers and restaurants. When we envision what ultimately, and I'm trying to keep the commanders here, so I'm claiming them. They stand. Building around that blue line corridor where we have the stadium and opportunities for development around there. We have to be strategic. We have to work with the commanders to attract and lure in those high-end retailers, those white tablecloth restaurants that we all want. But we also can't ignore the talent that we have here locally. So I have even a vision of creating a fashion district here in Prince George's County where we have our local designers.
I like that.
Because we actually have some high-end designers here that nobody really knows about. And see, if we help to build their brands, then that's money in our pocket. We're not just paying, someone to bring Louis in. We might have, Jamie's new brand or Tyrese's new brand. We might have your brand, which we can grow and build here, where we can have high quality fashions locally. So some of it, yes, we want some of the big box or big name brands, but we also want to build and develop locally as well. And I think the areas that have done really best and really well, like Old Town Alexandria, has that mix of some are chains and some are, local to that area. And I think if we begin to do that, I think we can actually attract a pretty vibrant commercial area here where you can get products that you really like. You can have a restaurant row where you really want to go, and you can go from place to place. Like, I think we can recreate something like that here, especially along that blue line corridor where we are investing. I mean, we have the state has given Prince George's County about $400 million to invest along that corridor. So we have a real opportunity to have some focused development. And so working with folks like you, we can envision what we want that to look like. But I think those are going to be the areas where we're going to be able to initially attract those retailers, because we have the ability to make an investment there. And then once we attract retailers in certain areas, then they're going to look at Prince George's County a little differently. Right now we are doing extremely well when it comes to addressing the issue of crime. Crime is down overall 30%. And some of the most concerning categories in terms of violent crime is even down more than that. So we are headed in the right direction when it comes to addressing safety issues. But what we need is a focus. We need an intentional strategy to attract what we need, and then also recognize the talent that we have here. Now, we have folks like Lance London who can deliver to us a high quality restaurant. Now, he has Carolina Kitchen, of course, which is kind of hey, you might carry out, and that's one brand and style of restaurant that we do need here too. But sometimes we want a higher end restaurant, right? And he has that brand too. So we can't ignore the fact that we have really talented people here locally who, if we invest in and we create opportunities for, they can deliver what we are asking for as well.
Right. Outstanding. Yeah, and Lance is definitely doing this thing. I saw his new spot once we left the other night, and it's going to be fabulous.
Yes.
And one more question on the safety and law enforcement side. As you know, I'm retired, and I started the foundation to support mental health first responders. What's your insight on with this new administration and policing? Because the era I come through, it's a little more aggressive. Now it's kind of, everybody's just sitting back till something happened, and then when it happens, then everybody's reacting. Where in my era, we were more pro-reactive. So, what's your insight on how law enforcement will be under your administration?
I think what we have to be is proactive when it comes to engaging the community so that the first time they encounter an law enforcement officer isn't when there's a negative encounter, like they're getting pulled over for something or something happened. I think having more of a presence in the community is important. In fact, I was out this morning with the Capitol Heights Police Department, and they were actually serving coffee and donuts and hot chocolate to folks in a community. And they said, instead of them meeting us at the Starbucks or somewhere else, we're going to come to where the community is, and we're going to welcome them, wave, and then give them an opportunity to interact with us. And if they want some coffee or hot chocolate or some donuts, we're going to give that to them too. And it was a really good exercise, I think, in engagement, because it gave folks an opportunity to know who their police officers were, who their mayor was. The mayor was there. I was there. And they were like, "Hey, Madam State's Attorney, we know you." So they felt good. They felt the presence. They know now if they need someone, they have cards. Like you have someone who you can call. So you feel empowered as a community because you feel like someone who's going to look out for you. So I think we have to get back to that. And I know it's tough because I know we're down officers, but I think we can do things, these small things, but they make a difference. So we have to just get out of the cruisers. We got, have that, human interaction more, and I think people will feel safer and they'll feel better about their relationship with the police department.
Yeah, I agree.
Ms. Braveboy, one of the things that Muriel Bowser did was mandate that the police force patrol officers had mandatory mental health training, which has not traditionally been a part of the academy. I actually am the person who does that for MPD. And that's how Jamie and I made our first introduction, actually. Would you be interested in doing something like that for Prince George's County Police?
Oh, 100%. And I think it's important for us to always give our police tools. Now, we don't want them to, they're not mental health professionals, so we don't want to put too much on them. But I think to de-escalate situations, to recognize when there are signs that somebody may be going through an episode, I think that's very important. But then also having partners like you who can help respond to incidents, so that it's not just police showing up. Sometimes having those trained, licensed counselors available when responding to things like domestic calls, because sometimes the domestic calls are really mental health calls, right?
Yeah.
Having them available when someone is going through a withdrawal or an episode or something like that, where they can speak to someone who's not intimidating to them. I'll never forget this case where a gentleman in the Hyattsville area, he ended up losing his life, but uh, seemed that he was going through something mentally. He was holding a knife. Officers tried to get him to put the knife down. Then at some point he charged at the officers, and so the officers responded as officers would respond. And Jamie understands what I mean, unfortunately. And we had a situation where my office had to review the actions of the officers. Well, while nobody wants an incident to end up with a loss of life, officers have a right to protect themselves and or other officers or other civilians. And so that outcome obviously wasn't what anyone wanted, but it wasn't there wasn't anything to criminally charge the officers for. They were doing their job. But all of us thought, wonder if we had a crisis team that responded, because the officers yelling commands at this individual who's going through a crisis wasn't helping the situation. But if there was someone who was trained to deal with an individual like that who was available, there may have been a different outcome. And so, my hope is that we can give our our officers tools, but I don't want them to feel like they have to be the mental health professional, because you all went to school a long time, right? And you've learned a lot that our officers aren't going to be trained in. And so I think just having that balance and having folks like you available to help respond is important.
One of the things that I was really Prince George's proud, because I started my career in emergency mental health with the
Mhm.
SAM 800 unit. Are you familiar with Prince George's County Police, working in mental health, doing the work some 30 years ago? Like that, I mean, I mean, we did a great job. I learned so much in that role, and so when I got to DC, they weren't doing near the stuff that we did
Mhm.
in Prince George's County. So I was really proud to be able to take all that I had learned in my county, Prince George's, gorgeous Prince George's, to DC. And DC is definitely catching up. But I can say that while DC usually is leading in a lot of areas, they're very progressive. When I travel and train and do other things across the U.S. DC has been progressive, but not as it relates to mental health. Working with the police, we were doing this very early on. People are just now starting to talk about social workers and counselors working with police, and Prince George's County has been doing it for over 30 years. So I remember doing it right after 9/11.
Yeah,
Like we've been in the game, and so I was just a moment of being Prince George's County proud. Yeah.
absolutely.
All right.
So
So I'm not. Do you have time for more questions?
I have time for one more. One more.
Okay. Go ahead, Marcy.
well, I want to know, because this is a stressful time, how do you take care of you, your self care, and your mental health?
Well, that's a very good question.
Mm.
Now, Jamie knows that I have been bad because I'm supposed to be with my trainer at least 2 days a week, but
Her
running for
too.
office,
Her
being
too.
I think we all have the same trainer.
being,
Shout out to
being
Dewan.
Mm.
shout out to Dewan, mentally fit, mentally fit. But I'm coming back right after this election. Trust me. It's just right now, I just am focused on getting up every day, heading to the polls, making sure, we send a strong message around, wanting to lead this county in the right direction. But working out, honestly, it is helpful. It does help with relieving stress. I also do breathing exercises because sometimes I'll feel myself like tense up because I'm thinking about a whole bunch of things I got to do. And so then I have to just say, and take those 3 deep breaths. And even that one just helped me out right now. But I mean, but taking those deep breaths, I mean, it's so important. So I just say that's something that's easy that everyone can do. And then keeping my water bottle, drinking water, it does help. It helps you just to cleanse and to, just a reminder that you got to take care of you. So drinking water, working out. Okay, I got to get back in there. Working out, breathing, and honestly, for me, I like to shop. So
All right.
Sounds good.
And I
And
must admit that water, your skin is looking absolutely amazing.
and I gotta say something before she gets out of here, because we got an ongoing joke with our high schools. Congratulations to Largo. They won the championship this week. I don't know if you
Yay,
knew that.
Largo.
Look, she gives
Jamie,
me
you
the
know my
blue.
kids went to Largo.
I know, I know,
yes.
I know.
Yes, you're a wonderful person to have sent your kids to the best school in Prince George's County and in the state of Maryland. Thank you, Miss McAllister, for just being a brilliant mother. Where did you go to school again? I can't remember.
Me,
Yeah, Jamie, what's that
Jamie.
school down
The
there?
friendly Patriots, you know,
No, I'm just joking.
you know, you know. It's okay. It's okay. They won this week. They got a superstar in the young kid Ward. He's one of
Yeah, no, we joke, but I mean, it's all love. It's
yeah.
all love. I am. a child of Prince George's County. I was originally born in Washington, D.C., but I moved here when I was like 5. So I grew up in Prince George's County Public Schools, and I love all of our schools. And I love that all of our folks are doing so well, like Jamie, even though he came out of friendly. No, he's doing good. He's doing a good job.
And you know that's crazy because that's exactly my story. We were in DC and Northeast, and my family. I think first grade, I moved. I went to Rose Valley, and
Okay.
we all have that. You know that era back then where the goal was to get to the county. It was
That's right.
to the out of DC because of what was going on back then, and we catch the blues. Oh yeah, Maryland and this and that. I'm like, look, that saved my life. I can tell you that right now because that city was something in them '80s.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I went to Suitland, so I reverted. I came to DC just to get a little bit of property. So it was cheaper at that time.
Yeah,
At that
exactly.
time, well, you can always come back. And the
And
Suitland
I really
Rams
do
are
want to
very
come
close
back.
to Suitland as well.
I really, really do want to come back.
And while Marcy does live in DC, she
She does
totally
nothing.
supports Prince George's County. She does.
100%. I can't even
We're happy
shop
to
in
hear that.
DC. I can't even go grocery shopping in my area. I have to come into because it's parking. That's
Yeah,
one of my
Yeah.
biggest things. I don't
Marcy,
have.
come on back. We're gonna find you a place. Come on back.
Okay, all right. I'm coming back. I'm
Okay.
coming back.
Okay.
but
so I
thank you all so much. And I'm sorry I've got to jump, but I look forward to seeing you all
No,
soon.
no,
And
no.
remember,
Thank you.
everyone vote by March 4th. Vote by March 4th. You can do in-person voting between now and March 4th. We're out there asking for your vote. You can also turn in your
Yes.
mail-in ballots if you haven't done so already, although by this point you should have. But if you haven't, please turn it in.
Thank
lastly,
you.
real quick, if they want to still donate to the campaign, where should they go?
AishaBraveboy.com and click on the donate link.
Brave Justice.
And I'll be
Thank
out soon with you guys. Just tell Shaka, let us know what good day, and we'll be out there. Save me a
Oh, I
t-shirt.
can't wait. Yes, let's do this. All right. Thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
All right,
Thank
thank
All
Take
you.
right.
you.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Woo.
All
Oh,
right.
that was
You
fun.
That was good. But and you know what? I just want to remind our listening audience, even if you're not in Prince George's County, that the local elections are, everybody's in an uproar about the current administration on a federal level. And while more so than ever, the national election has a local impact, but our local elections are really important. And a lot of times people stay away, they don't vote, they don't think it's important, but you have more opportunities to get your immediate needs met in your community when you participate in the local elections. So please don't stay home during local elections.
Yeah. And I tell people, I know two of the candidates pretty well.
So do I.
I know Aisha a little more, but for me, I never was into politics. I did my votes and I got out the way. But now I'm a little more into it as I have these relationships. So I am personally endorsing Aisha, and anybody that follows me, supports me, I would hope you would do the same and get out and vote.
All
We'll
right.
probably go. We'll probably go today or tomorrow and cast our vote, and then I'm gonna actually join them while she's out meeting people and stuff soon. Probably, I guess, whenever they call.
Okay.
And even though I live in DC, honestly, when you elect good leaders, because I'm gonna always be over in Maryland. It does have a trickle down effect because when DC and Maryland lawmakers can come together on certain things, it makes our county on both sides uh, just so much better.
And I just want to tell y'all one of the things that I could give her props about, and very seriously. Y'all know I don't really mess with politicians because just around when my daughter was killed, many of them, they were doing photo ops, and especially in DC. Um and I'll just say the name because there ain't nothing they can do. Vincent Gray didn't want to be bothered with me until the cameras was out. When the cameras was out, and I had to just let him know, no, I'm not taking a picture with you. I'm not standing here talking with you because I don't like that. Because I'm out here trying to work so other kids don't get killed. This is not, my daughter is not a photo op. And I can't say that Aisha Braveboy came to our very first event, Marcy. You remember the basketball
Oh yeah.
tournament. She wasn't even she was actually campaigning then for her position. But one thing I could say is that she stayed in the gun violence fight. Once she won, she stayed, and she's done a lot on gun violence, and so have her competitors. So I mean, nothing against them, but she didn't just do the photo op and walk away. The other thing that she did that I thought was huge, and she used me to do it, but even if she didn't use me, I thought it was good. Her entire team, I think it might have been 270 attorneys that work up under her. She got them some training on how to deal with people who were suffering, because apparently somebody reported being mishandled. Um, and not even under her administration, but she made it right and made sure that her team had training to deal with people who were dealing with trauma. And I thought that was huge. And I'm not saying because she used me to do the training, because whoever she would have used, the fact that as a she was overseeing that role and overseeing those positions, that she knew that they needed training, and I thought that was huge.
Mhm. You know, I
And
got
that's
an
what.
idea too.
You got some
Uh-oh.
ideas,
I got an
Jamie?
idea. Since she's sweating Largo, and you did the foundation basketball tournament at Largo. I think the Jamie Tyler Foundation is gonna have to get a team this year, and we're gonna have to
Uh,
play your.
oh, oh. Well,
Yeah.
let me just say this. You can't have little Jamie because little Jamie is already committed to me.
No, no, no. We're gonna be 40 and up because I'm gonna play. I'm coming out
So
for
you
time.
know what,
Oh, you
Jamie?
oh
You
you
know,
bringing the old
Jamie,
head.
let's not
I need
talk
an
about it
old head
here.
game.
Let's not talk about it on here because we don't know. I'm telling you, I got an idea. When we finish here, we gonna talk. I got some assignments for you.
Okay, okay.
All
You
right,
already
cool.
know, Jamie. You already know.
Uh oh.
I
I'm
Hey,
can't
nervous.
look. I came here
Marcy,
volunteering tickets. Here I am. How many years later?
Uh oh.
8. It's 8. This March will be 8. So next
Eight.
month it'll be 8, y'all. 8 years. So y'all just pray for me. But God is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
listen, what we didn't get to talk about is what y'all do this week. What y'all been doing?
Well, I
Oh
had
God.
fun.
I'm scared to say what I was doing because
Uh-oh.
my
You was
friend,
in Miami.
but my friend is now viral for supporting the new administration, and
Who?
Floyd Mayweather. So I was in Miami for his 48th birthday on Monday,
Uh-huh.
and got back Tuesday to do Aisha's event,
Who
and
he
then
supporting?
Trump. Where you been? You been busy today because
I have.
I got sent his interview on Fox by 20 people. This your man. This your man. Yeah, all in my inbox all day. And my
Oh,
take was he was like that in 16. It's no the wealthy people support Trump. It's no secret. But I think because of the new Trump we're dealing with, it don't look good, and everybody's in an uproar because he said, "Oh, this is the best president ever." That's what he said. He said the best president we ever had on national TV.
I don't
Are
even
we
know what
gonna
to
blame that
say.
on some head injuries?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, right.
I had no comeback, but I agree. I don't support that. I don't know what made him, but I know people do things when stuff is coming up and they need to be talked about. So I don't know if he got something coming up major. He's the top of
Yeah,
the headlines right now, trending.
yeah.
But not in a good way. You don't do your. Oh well. You know what? Okay.
No, but they say in press is good no matter whether it's bad press is better than no press.
Yeah,
So I mean that could be a point. But you know what I think? I think the people who still can say that that guy is good for anything are not affected. But what is very interesting is the number of people who are coming out who are negatively impacted, and they're now coming out to say he's horrible and this, and they voted for him though. So I mean, I think
Yeah.
everybody gonna have their day. You know, the
Yeah.
people
Oh
who
yeah.
voted for him, the people who think he's amazing, They just haven't been impacted yet. But I went to see on Tuesday. I went to see Dr. Joy DeGruy, who wrote Post Traumatic Slave Disorder.
Hmm.
I got to see your castmate Yusha too there. But when I say that was good, and when she talked about racism and where we're going as a country, it ain't looking good. So I've been talking to my husband about relocating to another country. So um I might have a place for y'all to come visit seriously, because
Oh, you ain't the only one. I'm
yeah,
serious.
it don't look good for us as a country, and when we have our own to go and support it, it's concerning.
It's disheartening, I believe,
Yeah.
because of the simple fact, not only like you have the money, but when somebody's trying to erase your history, no matter how much money you have, that's something right there that if you had good conscience, you couldn't support.
Right.
So money is not everything. When your children's children um, are stripped of everything, what
Yeah.
then?
What
So
I don't understand is, how do they think this is not racism when you say African American history won't be taught in school? Like, make that make sense. I get that, that there is a lot of waste in government. I get that, but you don't take a sledgehammer to kill a fly. Like, the way
Right.
you're doing it and who you're doing it with. Elon Musk is not even, he ain't even a citizen. He ain't even American, and you just giving him access to all of our information, personal information, and he's in bed with China. Like, something ain't right. Like, they baking a cake for us.
Mhm.
and my
But
thing
how
from a
about
security standpoint, because I didn't know, because I don't watch the news. He's in briefings. People are supposed to have go through background investigations before they can get. This is sensitive information. This is classified information. So right there, everybody in that room should be held in contempt. And even though you hold the highest level of the land, you've broken so many laws. Of course, just so many laws. But like for me to get my job, they had to dig. I couldn't have no tickets. I couldn't owe no money.
good?
So if for what I'm doing, if I had to do that, oh nah, this is not right.
Can y'all help me understand why he keep bringing his 4-year-old son to work? I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. He got the little boy on his head, on his neck. And why is he bringing all the money he have? He can't afford a babysitter or a nanny or
No, he's
something.
actually there to. Oh, I'm not gonna say it.
He playing in our face. It ain't. He could do whatever he
Yeah.
want. He playing in our face, and he wearing baseball caps and t-shirts.
I
Like, come
remember
on.
when Obama wore a tan suit
A
to
tan
Yeah,
somewhere,
and
suit.
they had a
and it
fit.
was like an uproar.
And
Yeah.
Michelle Obama had those guns out. Because, baby, if
Baby,
my arms was like that, I would never cover them up. And it'd
never.
be
It's
winter.
3 degrees
Look, I had
outside.
me a sleeveless coat. I had me a sleeveless fur. Cause them arms, I said, oh, they cut up like a bag of dope, man. She
Yeah,
is
yes,
cut
indeed. Yes,
up.
indeed. Forever
They
my
would,
first lady. Okay, we went on a tangent.
But can
yeah.
y'all just imagine if this was reversed and the Democrats was doing all this wild, unorthodox stuff?
Oh my
Oh my
God,
They,
they
God.
would be
they would be
crying.
going absolutely crazy, and then we supposed to just accept it.
But let me ask you
He
this: where are the rest of our black leaders for real? Because I don't hear nobody talking about nothing but Jasmine Crockett
right.
and Roland Martin. I ain't heard from nobody else, including the fraternal and the sorority organizations. Where y'all at?
I don't know. Maybe they up to something that we don't know
I
about.
hope so. Because I'm like, I know it's only been a month, but this joker then
It's
came
been
out
a
with a wrecking
long
ball.
month.
I'm gonna need them to stand up.
Hmm.
So look, so that segues into what I did this weekend.
Hmm.
What you
Because
do?
yeah, listen, I am now licensed,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
permitted, to carry.
You got
Hmm.
it.
Yes,
Congratulations.
I walk in
Congrats.
peace and I walk with my peace.
So you got your
If anybody listening, please don't test Marcy. Please don't
Don't.
test her, y'all. Don't do
And if
it.
you're not listening, don't.
What's
And
that?
if you
What's
know
that? What's
somebody,
that form? What's that number of form you had to get? I
The
forget what it was.
QRL.
Yeah, the thing that Maryland State send you, and then you can go buy a
no,
gun
she live in
now.
DC. Me and
With
you in the same boat, Jamie,
I
with
have
that
to. I
form.
still have to do my QRL in Maryland, so I can. So I'm
somebody
licensed in
breaking
38.
up. I can't hear.
Uh-oh. I'm
Somebody
licensed.
breaking up.
Is it me?
I hear you.
Both of y'all.
What's wrong with your
Maybe it's
ears,
me.
Jamie?
It's his Wi-Fi. Go ahead.
Your wife. So I'm licensed to carry in 38 states. So, and if I go
Mm.
to Pennsylvania to get licensed, I'll be licensed to carry in Pennsylvania and Florida. But Florida is a constitutional state, so you technically don't need permits. And so, shout out to Judah Elite and Mike Hubbard. It was there, mind you, it's a two 2 days, 8 hours, and you gonna get all 16 of them hours because he ain't playing with you. But you learn so much. Of course, gun handling, but you learning the laws of carrying your gun, where you can carry, where it's open carry, where you know how it has to be locked up, and just so many things. And then we even did de-escalation. So then it's so much wrapped up in that 16 hours. It is definitely worth. First of all, we need to have our protection, because when we went to the range, um they had people was coming in and they had artillery. But that was their pleasure. They had artillery. One person had a weapon that when it shot it, the bullets came out in sparks.
Mm.
Baby, I need several. I'm gonna need me several protection weapons
Yeah,
as
because
a
that's the other
Yeah.
thing. That's the other thing. I think. I mean, you're absolutely right, and I think that's the thing that people really aren't considering. That January 6th was done under this administration, right? And that how they rolled in that, a few years ago is just 4 years ago. That's how they roll, and they still rolling, right? Like we thought that everything was quiet. January 6th came and went. Unfortunately, the law enforcement and first responders who had to respond, they haven't forgotten. But I think everybody else has kind of forgotten that that's how people are getting down. And so if you are not licensed to protect yourself and your home, you might want to consider it. You might want to consider it because you see that within 30 days there was a wrecking ball, and they not just coming after our jobs. These people do not want us here. Like period, point blank. They are getting rid of DEI. If you read Project 2025, they are getting rid of unions. They're getting rid of the performance improvement plan. So when they get you out of the government, they don't even have to hire you back. If you do anything that they don't like, they can let you go, and there's no union to protect you. There's no DEI to have them hire you or even recruit you in a way.
God
Bless
bless
you,
you.
Jamie. So we really have to consider this thing. Like, we cannot play. And even though Aisha was talking about like shopping, and everybody knows that everybody on this couch loves to shop, but honestly, we got to do away with that. Like, we got to
Yeah,
really figure out who we spending our dollars with. The 28th, remember, we are not to be shopping in Target or anywhere else. So
anywhere,
get your
nowhere.
gas, get everything you got to do before tomorrow. Please do that, so that we can send a message. But we got to really be prepared to be uncomfortable. We look at the Montgomery boycott, Montgomery, I think
Bus
the bus
boycott,
boycott of Montgomery count
boycott.
of Montgomery.
Montgomery boycott. Yeah, it lasted
Right, I'm getting
381
confused.
days.
Right. 381 days. But see, Black people don't want to be uncomfortable, right? Like, we want all the accoutrements of life. And we're not gonna send no message with that. This is a critical time, y'all. This is gonna push us back even worse than segregation. This is they
This
trying to push us all the way off the map. And if you don't see it, I don't understand how nobody can't. I don't understand. I don't understand how people can't see it.
they trying
But
to
we
push us back to fresh off the boat.
mm,
You
or on
know
the
what's
boat, they trying
crazy?
to push.
I literally just had this conversation with one of my buddies, and he was with it. He was like, "Yeah, we just stay over here. They stay over here." I said,
I'm
"Bro,
okay with segregation. I'm okay with being separate. But I don't. It's not just separate though. You know what I'm saying? They trying to hurt people.
Right.
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? The
And my
federal
thing
government don't belong to them.
right, yeah." They,
and my thing is just with healthcare, because that's one thing as far as healthcare. I know I had to get a new doctor, my because I do just a nurse practitioner rather, and I just had to fly. Is she black? Because if not, cancel this appointment.
wow.
I need my
Yeah, we
dentist.
got.
I need every. I need you to have my best interest at heart. And just because,
Yeah.
yeah, I need you to have my best interest at heart.
And just because you black don't mean you're gonna have it, but that don't mean I'm gonna have to stay with you either.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, we definitely gotta wake up and do things differently. So hopefully our listening audience hears us and can follow suit. And if we have any Trump supporters that are listening, we okay that you stop listening.
Very
I'm
much so.
over y'all. I cannot.
Done.
Look,
No,
I'm unfriending people on Facebook. I'm going there. I'm like, "Are you serious?"
I have a stalker, and this was a lady that I really thought was, a solid person. And I actually was going to call her one day because I seen her post. I was like, oh my God, somebody didn't hack her page. And
Right.
and then I went back and I was like, whoa. So I responded, and then she was like, "Oh my God, Marcy, da 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 da," and I was like, "I thought you were had such better character than this." I said, "I'm very disappointed in you, and I no longer value you as a friend.
not you don't value her. Bye. You know the rest. And it ain't Felicia.
I don't value you as a
No, I
friend
get it.
anymore."
Yeah,
But
because
she still is
this
stalking my
is life or death.
page.
This is life or death for us. And people
Yeah,
ain't saying it. People done slept. I saw it on January 6th. I said, yo, this is serious. And people are sleeping on it. And
and
so I'm not buying nothing.
yeah,
And I'm
I'm
trying to buy my food off a farm. I was talking to this young lady. She's a police officer at American University, but she lived in, I think it's Calvert County, and she lived on a farm. And she was like, yeah, she's great. Her and her family growing their food. I was like, are y'all selling it? She was like, no, we'll just give it to you. I said, no, I'm gonna buy it because I buy it from the grocery store, but I want to support what y'all doing. You know what I'm
definitely
saying? And I don't need to give my money to shoppers and stuff unless when I spend money, it's gonna be because I have to. Because right now I'm paying off all my debt so that I can accept student loans. Because if I move from another country, they can, you know, with the student loans. Yeah,
happen. It can happen.
uh-huh, because I'm just over America. A few years ago, a therapist friend of mine, she moved to Mexico. It was right after George Floyd, and she said, and I was like, oh my God, so drastic. She said, America has not loved me or my son. They've not been good to me or my son. And she's afraid for her son's life. And I didn't have boys. So I just really didn't understand. But after January 6th, I get it. I'm like, yeah, they not, and right now they not good to us.
And when you say that we forgot about January 6th, and this could be just where I work, because I work in a building where Capitol Police are.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so January 6th this year, we had to prepare to do some emergency preparedness. But the atmosphere was thick.
It
It was
is.
very thick. And honestly, I feel like America, and it's not the America, DC has some PTSD behind January 6th.
I do, especially the officers, right? Like, just in working with them, and we talking a year or so later. Like it is very hard, and I mean nobody should have to go through that. And you being attacked by your own, like it's just crazy. And
Yeah,
but it's
and
some officers that's down with that.
no,
Let's
because it
just be
was some.
perfectly clear.
But yes, but I can honestly tell you, doing that whole week, the week moving up to it, even a couple of days later, when I say the air was so thick, and with shift changes, our past officers, and you could just tell the ones who had that angst in them because they would speak, but it was that the energy was just different, and it was
Yes.
it was somber.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's our time.
Yes,
It's been a great show. Thank y'all
as
for
Yes.
what
always.
y'all do. Thank our listening audience for stopping by and hanging out with us. If you're listening on a replay, please hit us with a hashtag replay. Thank you, and we'll see you next Thursday. And we'll see you again at 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Get out
Oh,
and vote. March
oh
4th.
yes.
Yes.
Early voting. Always a
So
pleasure, ladies.
All right, Marcy, you
always.
got your Marcy moment.
Oh, you know what? Guess what?
You didn't
You
prepare
are
one.
amazing. It
Mm-mm.
God has blessed you to be amazing, and you are even more amazing than you were yesterday. You didn't think it could happen, but you are even more amazing than you were yesterday. And you know I love you, and it is absolutely nothing you could do about it. Bye bye.
All right.
Okay, what music is that? Wait,
End it. You got to end it. You still on.
I thought I hit it. Oh,